Still, he thought, still. As his stomach moved toward his backbone, he became less and less fussy. Some natives in the world ate grasshoppers and ants, and if they could do that, he could get a raw egg down. He picked one up and tried to break the shell and found it surprisingly tough. Finally, using the hatchet, he sharpened the stick and poked a hole in the egg. He widened the hole with his finger and looked inside. Just an egg. Had a dark yellow yolk and not so much white as he thought there would be. Just an egg. Food. Just an egg he had to eat. Raw. Ugh. He looked out across the lake and brought the egg to his mouth and closed his eyes and sucked and squeezed the egg at the same time and swallowed as fast as he could. Ugh. It had a greasy, almost oily taste, but it was still an egg. His throat tried to throw it back up. His whole body seemed to convulse with it, but his stomach took it, held it, and demanded more. The second egg was easier, and by the third one he had no trouble at all. It just slid down. He ate 6 of them, could have easily eaten all of them and not been full, but a part of him said to hold back, save the rest. He could not now believe the hunger. The eggs had awakened it fully, roaringly. So again, pause right here. It's interesting how it says that his hunger started to be dormant for a little while. His body realized, you know what, there's not much food here other than berries, so you don't have much to eat. Made his hunger dormant. It's funny that now that he's actually eating something good, like eggs, he has more hunger than ever before, because he says these eggs had fully awakened his hunger so that it tore at him. Make sure you're following along in your text. After the 6th egg, he ripped the shell open and licked the inside clean, then went back and ripped the other 5 open and licked them out as well, and wondered if he could eat the shells. There must be some food value in them. When he tried, they were too leathery to chew, and he couldn't get them down. That goes to show how hungry. Like, I learned this and realized, like, wow, I can infer my character was so hungry. If he was going to eat the shell of an egg, I mean, come on, guys. He stood away from the eggs for a moment, literally stood and turned away so that he could not see them. If he looked at them, he would have to eat more. He would store them in the shelter and eat only 1 a day. He fought the hunger down again, controlled it. He would take them now and store them and save them and eat 1 a day, and he realized that he had forgotten that they might come. The searchers. Surely they would come before he could eat all the eggs at 1 a day. He had forgotten to think about them, and that wasn't good. He had to keep thinking of them, because if he forgot them and did not think of them, they might forget about him. He had to keep hoping. He had to keep hoping. So at this point, you should have a couple themes that you found in chapter 10 tracked in or annotated in your paper. Something really important I want to just talk about for a second. For Brian to kind of stop thinking about the searchers, that shows that he's just going to be accepting his life here. I'm lost and I have to build a life for myself here because I'm not getting rescued. But he does not want to do that. He wants to stay hopeful. That's a great word to describe Brian right now, because he wants to think, listen, this is still a time where a plane crash, people are going to be here to get me soon. If he starts thinking about it a different way, like, oh, this is just my life here, then that's pretty scary. He wants to still make sure he has hope to be found. If you're done doing this, take out your independent reading book.